Pisces, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to be here with you always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at the energy surrounding you for the next week or two via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages that come through. I'll also incorporate some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness practices that can really just help strengthen, enliven our optimal functioning mind, body, and soul. So let's get into it. We're currently in the midst of Leo season. I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've talked. I apologize that these videos come out a little bit slower than ideal. I do what I can, just so you know, but thank you for your patience always. So we're in Leo season right now, and things, I like Leo energy because it is the energy of self-empowerment in the way that we're able to be a little bit more creative. We're able to connect with the things that make us excited, passionate about life, and really kind of dive deeper into those areas, really bringing out our inner light, the things that make us unique, the things that let us shine bright. And it's a great season for attracting people, situations that we're wanting to bring in our life based off of those attributes. Yes, with Leo energy, it can also arise some pride, arrogance, tension, ego. We even saw that with the full moon last week in Aquarius, which we're still feeling the effects of. We'll still feel the effects of until we hit the upcoming new moon, or solar eclipse, on the 14th. So stay tuned for that. I will upload a reading around that. But until then, we are still feeling that effects. We're in this period, we're in the waning phase of the cycle where we can, the information that we've gathered, there's been a lot of insight given into certain situations and dynamics that are helping piece things together a little bit more. And so I feel like we're in processing mode of what has happened. And though as we're processing through, it's a little quiet beginning of the week, which is nice. Chiron does go into retrograde, which is good for us in the vein that it is the wound healer. It does help us overcome things that have been really difficult, have maybe been left unattended, or, they've been a long cycle, or it doesn't even have to be a long cycle, just something that we're really working to kind of heal within self or around us in our life so that we can align better with self. Also, Venus is going to be entering into Libra, and that sheds a lot of light, a lot of focus on partnerships and relationships, specifically how those dynamics are interacting with us in our life and really what we want to do as a result, again, of what we've been seeing. So there's a lot to process. There's a lot to kind of take account of and really figure out where you want to land. With fire energy, Leo season, there can be the knee-jerk reaction to just react and not necessarily think through or take your time when responding to something, especially something that might be a little bit more challenging. So keep all those things in mind. There is a very nice energy that's been coming up a lot in the readings of just knowing that you are protected and guided accordingly, that even if you are facing some things that's making you feel vulnerable, insecure, unsafe, whatever it may be, that spirit is going to guide and direct you. And if anything, we're getting further when we surrender and just kind of make peace with what we can and can't control, leave the rest to the side, leave the rest to spirit to kind of fill in the gaps and do what needs to be done on your behalf. And then you're going to be way happier with the results versus getting sucked into the fear, the anxiety, the what ifs, etc. Because we can't control those things. We can't control other people. We can only control ourselves. And that does take a lot of intention, right? It's not easy to let go of the proverbial control we all think we have, right? But that's also why I like to start my readings off with an energy cleansing, just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places that do feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. Spirit is always looking to communicate to us. And if this is not your vibe, you can totally skip ahead. I list all the chapters down below. You will receive the good vibes, the good blessings always, but you can totally skip ahead. I also offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of that rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, your body, your soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because when we are aligned in self, that's where we're able to navigate the trickier stuff that much easier. We're also tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would love to help support you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. I'm working on my website right now, but you can totally shoot me an email until that's up and running. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. All right, Pisces, I really like your energy this week. You feel good. I feel like there is like some heaviness, right? Like I'm seeing you release something that feels really good. Like it's a heavy thing. It's not something that makes you feel happy. Maybe it hasn't even been that easy to move through. Maybe it's caused a lot of tension, difficulty in your life. But it does feel like you're on the horizon of some type of closure, or things are going to be done sooner than later. I'm getting goosebumps, confirmation on that energy for you. And I do feel like, I think that there's a little bit of hesitancy. I'm picking up like you don't really know if you can believe that it's done and over with, but I do feel like your soul keeps showing you, telling you, etc. Like you can definitely feel, it might not be the end point, but you can definitely feel that burdens are releasing. I'm seeing you with like this huge smile on your face. Just like finally you've made it through. Okay, so there is a paradox in front of you, however, and this might even just be how the change is happening, how it's manifesting. Because I'm not sure, like I was picking up this energy, it's not what you thought it was going to be like or how it was going to feel, because there is still some heaviness and grief that's attached to it. I don't know if it's grieving for whatever you're releasing, however. Like, I think it's the grief of more what something represented versus what something actually was in your life. And with any type of paradox, it is kind of that value of cognitive dissonance in the way that we're holding opposing ideas and trying to find cohesion, trying to find congruence between them. It's that 2 of Wands energy. And it's something that's forced you to do some deeper work on self. So that you can evolve, so that you can be a better version of yourself. And I think also on this point, you're seeing the value. I think it's like the experiences that you had to go through. It is that proverbial, the experiences that you had to go through were the things that forced you to do things that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. And I feel like where you're landing now is way better than where you were even at before, or if you hadn't moved through this experience. It also looks like you're able to kind of be at peace with that fact a little bit more as time continues to move forward. We can't always, especially in difficulty challenge, it's not an easy space to get to say like, I understand why I went through that, and I wouldn't wish it any different way because of the benefit that it brought me. That's a really hard space to get to. But once we do, there is this element of peace and release that comes through. And it feels like that's kind of, you're hitting this point this week. It's also helping you kind of approach things, dynamics from a different vantage point, or play around with the energy a little bit more. You're feeling more confident in yourself because I feel like whatever is being released, it's had a lot of burden around it, and burden in the way that like I feel like you haven't, it comes through like you haven't felt comfortable in self, or like you could be your true authentic self, or maybe you couldn't say certain things or do certain things because of how people would interpret that, etc. Like I'm feeling like you had to stay buttoned up, or specifically it's coming through with that throat chakra, how you were communicating. I love this, the outlaw. Good for you, Pisces. This is so, I think that you aren't afraid to march to the beat of your own drum. And I feel like you're at a place of empowerment. This is a place that you haven't been in a hot minute, and it feels really good. It feels, and I think there's still some hesitancy around it. I'm not saying that you're just like off and running and you're not thinking about anything, like no consequences, that type thing. It doesn't have that vibe, because it does feel like you're still proceeding with caution, or there's still that questioning of like, is this really done and over with? Because if it were, it feels like that's too good to be true, right? Like a too good to be true energy. You've wanted to release, let go of something. Maybe you haven't been able to have fun, to play. Maybe you've had to take care of a lot of serious things, and you're at a point where you've kind of hit your stride, where the work that you have been doing has set a foundation that now you can relax a little bit. But I do see like there's also these things that are coming up that do feel a little bit challenging to your peace. That's what I'm hearing. Challenging to your peace, because you do have to do things that are against the grain, or that's how you're choosing to move forward. I don't know if we'll see. I don't think this is necessarily bad for you, because you wouldn't be doing it otherwise, right? Like this feels like this is a conscious decision because of what other people and situations have expected you to be. And that's where that limitation has come through. But now it looks like you're breaking free of that, and you're starting to explore more aspects of yourself, or maybe even the world around you, right? Like I feel like you have a totally different lens and a different sense of confidence. You're not feeling so put down by what maybe has been communicated to you, or what people, situations have been trying to get you to think and believe, etc. Okay, so we have 2 of Cups, relationships in your environment, partnerships, new opportunities. The wheel is turning. I like this. Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this card completely embodies the energy that I'm picking up for you. Like she is at the top of her game. She feels good. It's like it is complete freedom. And in a way that there is trust. I love that she's doing tree pose as well on the dials, because it feels very much like you're free, but you're grounded. Such a beautiful, beautiful symbolism. I love that. And I think that I feel like this is a lot of both new and old relationships that you're learning how to, you're learning how to mingle with now. Does that make sense? Co-mingle? I think I'm not using that word right. It's like you're learning how to re-engage with people from this space of confidence, or whatever you've kind of hit within yourself. Like you see a lot more strength in yourself. And I feel like you're really empowering yourself this week, or continuing to step into that power. Interesting that the star is being blocked in your outside environment. So you might be coming into certain relationships that are not allowing healing. Someone wants to offer something, but it comes with strings attached. Maybe even trying to hold on to that light a little bit, right? Because you do feel very attractive right now. I feel like people are coming towards you. They're interested. They see this light. They want to be a part of it. It feels like it brings some type of value and essence to their life. But this is a little bit of a stingy energy around you. And this feels more like old relationships, or kind of where you're bumping into this paradox throughout the next week or so, where it's like, people could be saying and doing the right things and almost showing up in the right way. But the amount of healing, it's hard. This is what I'll say, right? When a lot of people are attracted to you, you do have to have your boundaries. And actually that was our overarching energy in our weekly read last night. So you do have to have your boundaries. You do have to know who you want to let in and who just needs to be kept at arm's length. And that's where I think you're having a hard time really differentiating. 2 of Swords is in your blocked energy. So the difficulty of making choices, and this is the 2 of Swords is very linear. It's like this way or that. There's no in between. And I feel like that's why it's a little bit hard for you right now. You might be holding out hope, or, giving people some buffer room, giving the benefit of the doubt, which is a really nice thing to do. And you should continue to do it. Yes. But I think this is also about having really definitive answers in mind about what your choices are for self, in the way that you're not letting people convince you otherwise, especially if you know that's what's best for you. And it does feel like some of this lack of decision is specifically coming from this outside energy. Like you don't necessarily want to do anything definitive yet because you're still kind of seeing what unfolds. But I also feel like you already have the answer of what unfolds. And maybe you're trying to sort this paradox out. Like maybe you're just giving someone a little extra space, time, energy, so that there is more understanding for everyone involved. It's not really adding up though. And I don't know, like this can be like both a good thing and a not so good thing. And that's where I'm feeling like it's coming from a variety of energy sources, where it's like someone really likes you and they're really attracted and they want to like connect with you and see what you're all about. And they're trying to make that happen. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe that's where the star is coming into play, just because there's other things that are kind of happening in the environment to like delay things, so to speak. But this also can talk about someone trying to manipulate the energy, manipulate the relationship to work in their favor without doing the necessary work on themselves. And that's really what you do want to be careful of, especially with this King of Swords. He is the person to do that because it's very analytical. It's very not taking into account people's feelings. No feelings involved at all. It's very much like, well, this is what I think is best from a logical standpoint, and then acting accordingly. And yes, I mean, sometimes things do make sense on paper, but in real time, in real life situations, they don't add up as much. And it also feels like whatever this is, really isn't listening to their like wisdom or gut instincts. It's more just something that they want to get clear. Like this feels like someone who wants to deliver a message to you. This is what they need to say, whether it's like defending themselves or, feeling like they need to state their piece. But again, it comes with more selfish motivations. I'll clarify that energy for you as well. Let me just pull one more for you to balance it out, Pisces. You're feeling someone's affection. I mean, there are some type of advancements towards you. But what I love is I think that you're kind of picking up the places where there is a disconnect. And maybe this is kind of what you're trying to figure out. Maybe this is exactly what this paradox is for you, where it's like saying all the right things. It looks good on paper, but the reality of it is not really actually what it's trying to be sold to be. And again, that's where we're getting this Magician, Knight of Cups energy, because it's like someone wants to show you that they're expressing some kind of love and heartfelt emotion, but that's not the King of Swords vibe at all, you know? If anything, like I said, he's using more logic and wisdom from experience, from what he knows about human dynamics, but not necessarily thinking about the human he's interacting and involved with, right? So those are just, it's these little things, it's these subtle things that are going to give you hints and clues along the way. I kind of feel like you don't really care, or like, I don't know. Here's the thing. It's like you're not closing a door, but you're also doing your own thing. Like you do feel very free in self this week. And it even looks like you have an opportunity, like I said, to just kind of explore other people, other situations, things that are of interest to you. Again, you do have this new sense of empowerment. And I feel like you're actually plugging it into new potential, new relationships that feel like they carry some weight, that definitely have the ability to grow and evolve and become something. And maybe even something that replaces this down the line. I don't necessarily see this being done and over with, because it does look like someone keeps trying to come in, shoot their shot to whatever capacity. And I think you're receiving it, but then you're kind of like, I'm still going to do my own thing. You know, I still have my own plans in mind of what actually is best for me. And I do it because you're kind of over it. It feels like it's been serious for a long time and you're ready to break free of that limitation, have some fun, play, be in relationships and dynamics that actually like bring an element of lightheartedness to the table, right? Not these ones that are a little doomy gloomy, wah. Not that the King of Swords always has to be that way, but he has a little bit of a stick in the mud, you know, even in his highest vibration. It's not like someone you're going out to party with, right? It's someone who's just, wants to be right at all times and thinks he's right at all times. Okay, bodily wisdom. We got this in our weekly as well. Listen to your body's subtle cues. It holds the answers you speak. Or seek. So really just, and maybe even the answers that you speak, right? Taking back to that throat chakra energy I was picking up. It's a good time to, you know, like I feel like as much as maybe you feel free or ready to be free from all of this, at the same time, I am seeing that it's important to take a beat, right? Making sure that you are still giving yourself the ability to process through what needs to get looked at. That's going to be very helpful for you. And I also think you're going to get information, i.e. from your body, that you need to better understand about yourself, your wants and needs, about the situation, about how someone is trying to orchestrate, maybe even making it seem like it is good for you too, when in fact it's more self-serving. Leap of faith. Follow your intuition. Take that courageous leap of faith. I love that. And I feel like it's so symbolic and consistent with this wheel energy. You are ready to do that. I feel like even if this week, next week or two, you're not doing anything major, I definitely see you like dipping your toe in the water, exploring places that maybe you can take that leap of faith. Or, and I do feel like maybe you're going to be presented with an opportunity that does take you in a completely different direction, a direction that you're not really even expecting to go. But because of the way you're moving, the way that you're showing up in surrender, it's making it way easier to release the burden of like whatever someone's trying to control and manipulate, and actually step into your own power and have that that courage and have that faith. You know, you are embodying that, which is so beautiful. Divine alignment. Align with higher frequencies to enhance your intuitive senses. You might have just been pulled down a lot lately in some lower vibrational energy, or sometimes when we get wrapped up in the drama and the chaos of what's happening in the 3D, it's so easy to lose our connection with spirit or with self, however you understand that. I'm a huge proponent of meditation. I think a daily practice is essential for everyone. You know, and not from a weird woohoo, like to be against your religion or anything like that. Meditation has so many benefits. Stress release is one of them. It's super amazing for our body as a whole, the cardiovascular system, our mental, emotional, our respiratory system. There's so many benefits of meditation. And if we give ourselves the time and space to do that every day, we will naturally be in alignment with the divine, with our higher self. And it makes the understanding of our wants, our needs, and what we need to do as a result from it that much easier to hear. And this is something that I do think you need to hear self in, because you are making choices that not everyone's going to understand or agree with. But at the same time, that's not your responsibility. And I feel like what this is all about is you being able, or you stepping into that courage, that power that you've built for yourself, and actually taking a chance on yourself, on your life, on what you desire, the things that you're passionate about, and not letting, you know, Debbie Downer over here say otherwise. All right. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below, Pisces. I love to connect with you. I love to hear how it resonates, or just share in a little love, a little TLC. It also really helps support the channel, and I so appreciate all the love, all the support you bring my way. Know that I'm sending love and support back to you. I hope you have a fabulous few weeks, and I will see you next time.